So first, I wanted to ask you, how did you get your start in maintenance and reliability, and in what way does your military background play a role in what you do?
Okay, great. Yeah, awesome question. I started out as a mechanic. I was always tinkering with things. I didn't know what I was doing, and I was often, wondering why I didn't do things right and why everything I touched still was broken. Right. Um, so I went to college and I dropped out of college. It wasn't my thing. I went to an automotive school where I learned how to be an automotive mechanic. I did that for about 2 years, and then I lost my job in the recession of 2007 and 2008, and I joined the Navy. I come from a long line of military family members. Um, so I did a ton of things in the Navy. Notably, I was a GSE flight deck troubleshooter. So I ran the flight deck during flight operations, troubleshooting and maintaining heavy equipment. The Navy is where I got the fundamental understanding of the human side of variability and why processes and tasks and all these things that direct the type of work in a competent and structured way is of value. So once I got out of the Navy, I took a lot of those principles of standardization and following the practices and procedures that are directed at a failure mode directly. And I started applying them at my jobs as a mechanic, as a heavy equipment mechanic for Caterpillar, as a industrial hydraulics and electronics technician for material handling companies. And then ultimately my first run at managing a large facility as a maintenance manager, where I built and standardized and scaled all of the programs there. And then ultimately that turned into being the director of maintenance and reliability, and then building and scaling even more programs for multiple locations at multiple states. So the Navy really drove home the structure of having to understand what you're doing and how the effects of the human interaction with a machine can dictate your availability and ultimately the reliability from a standpoint of people, right? But yeah, that's where it started, and it's just been building ever since. All the successes and the failures that I've had as a maintenance leader have helped me build out the thought process that I currently have for the way I implement maintenance, the way I implement CMMS, the way I connect people to things, and all of that. So that's kind of where it took off.